Hey everybody, welcome. Give me a minute. I need to make sure my stream is set up. It's been so long since I've streamed. Yeah, it looks like I have my overlay going, so thanks for joining me. I thought I'd do a video to kind of showcase More Core. As some of you know that have been on the Fantasy Grounds forums, I was fortunate enough to be able to convert this game. Hey, Zaverby, thanks for peeking in before bed. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know it's late, but I'll upload this to YouTube. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, Map Maker is a fun little game. I've been looking for a game to play with my daughters. One just turned 13, and the other is about to turn 11. And sometimes, although they do like Fantasy Grounds and playing D&D 5e, sometimes getting everything set up takes a little bit too long. So I found this Map Maker. And the individual who created this game, Yin Hua, One Page Gaming, was kind enough to let me convert it into Fantasy Grounds. And in fairness, another individual by the name of RoboCoppa actually did a version in Italian. And I saw it, and it got me thinking that, wow, More Core, although I've used it a bit, it's a little more robust than I realized. So given everything he had done was in Italian, I actually asked for his permission. But I took his tokens because I thought he did a great job, but otherwise I just recreated everything from scratch. So let's kind of jump in and play a game here. I've got a little Sirenscape ambiance going on, so if it's too loud, let me know. Just thought to fill the pause when I'm not talking. So I did create a reference manual. You guys have probably seen this from Celestian, but it's pretty nice. Got the cover. Let's jump into about. So yeah, 1 to 4 players. It'll probably take longer than 30 to 60 minutes, but in general, it's a relatively short game, which is kind of nice, like I said, to be able to jump right in. One Page Gaming, a little more information. And if you want to email this gentleman, demon9t@gmail, he actually is also creating another game that's a Kickstarter, and he has a Facebook page if you want to follow him. And you can also find him on Board Game Geek. I found some information there as well. All right, let's go to some pre-game info. So the object of the game, you become the heroes of the story and you delve into a dungeon until you discover the final boss. So it's all about kind of creating a map, or really, I guess, finding your way through the dungeon. You fill out the wild map, but it's pretty basic on that part. And essentially, you have 6 dungeons you can go into, and it doesn't really matter. It's just a little flavor, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you basically, in one session, you're going to be going through one of these dungeons. Let's see. The brave hero who, delivers the final blow to the dungeon boss gets to put their name in the wild map forever, which is kind of cool. All right. And this is just straight from the rules. And if anybody wants, if you want to type in !rules, you can actually, in my chat, you can actually find a copy of the rules on my Dropbox. So you're welcome to do that. If you want to look for the rules, this kind of tells you all the pieces that are in the physical game. $9, shipping everything. I got the physical game from him from China for $9, which is pretty darn cool. So I would encourage you to back him as well. Conversion notes, there's a little bit of information. There's also within the module some links to the rules, like I just said, and then also Board Game Geek. RoboCoppa, I wanted to give thanks to him. And then there's another gentleman who created the short gameplay. His name is Crossel, and I got his permission as well to really copy his short gameplay. I also want to do in the game a full walkthrough on Fantasy Grounds, but I haven't done that yet. That's still to come. So, all right, let's just jump in. So one of the first things you do is I'm going to pull up the wild maps. And I'm just going to pick one. Let's do that. Let's get this a little bit better for the stream. There we go. So you can see there's 6, and again, it's just flavor. Let's pick, let's roll a D6, why not? 3. So here we go. So there's a pin in here, and all it is just a basic entry. And what you do to begin with, and I left these open for you, is you just name the dungeon. So let's just call it, let's be real creative, Gwyd's Dungeon. Yeah, I know. Not feeling too creative. Some of these other things actually mainly effect if you play through this again. Once you beat all 6 dungeons, there's actually another game you can play, and there's some tweaks to it when you come back through. So these are all based on the final boss that you create, or that you fight, excuse me. Dang it, there we go. So you don't feel anything else in except for the name right now. That's kind of just flavor. But we got to remember we're in Dungeon 3, so actually I'm going to put in some game notes so I don't forget. Game notes. Oh, game notes. Dungeon 3. All right. So I did a lot of hotkeys already, so let's do, geez. Just down here. See if I remember that. All right. So we've done that. And one of the other things you're going to do, let me pull up how to play. Select a dungeon, did that. All right, so after you select your dungeon, so we've done that, then we're going to pick our hero. I'm just trying to think if I had put it in here. All right. So let's pick the hero. So one of the things I've done, let's go back to the reference manual. Actually, it's not in the reference manual, is it? If you go into characters, when you load this module, I have a number of pre-gens here. And before I get to that, I want to show you the hero selection. You have 8 different heroes. I created a little table so that we could just roll for it because I think that's more fun. So let's just roll. I'm going to do 2 heroes. You can actually play a game with 1, and it changes things a little bit, but everything I've seen, it's a lot harder, and it's more fun, I think, if you play 2. So I'm going to roll twice on this table. So I'm going to clear the chat. So we've got a warlock and a fighter. That's cool. Excellent. So I put these links in, but frankly, I might delete this table because these links are to the pre-gens, and I think until you actually select them, that might kind of screw some things up. So I'm just going to go with the warlock and the fighter. So let's do this. We got a fighter here, so I'm going to add him. Put him up here. And then, don't want him. Let's add the warlock. All right. Guess I don't have a picture for him yet, so let's just do a 5e picture. I don't know, do an elf. Somebody that looks like a magic user. Well, he looks good. Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to put these 2 side by side. We'll do that. All right, so the other thing, and I'll go through these because I want to show you, but let's go through the images. And on the first tab is all of the stats. I'll walk through that in a second. But on the second tab, I have the image. So if you pull up the image, the hero sheet. So I want to walk through one of these before we jump into the game and explain how I created this. So obviously, if you want to, you could use some letter tokens and put a name in here. I'm just going to leave it for now. But you're a fighter. You start with 11 hit points. So these kind of grayish out squares represent the number of hit points you start with. So if you look on the more core character sheet, I put in 11 hit points. You also start with 3 skill points. Those aren't spell points. I always tend to say spell points. These are skill points. You start with 3, so you'll notice over here, I've got 3 in terms of the tracker, but I have none in terms of available. The reason for that is you unlock your skills as you go. So even though a fighter has 3, you don't unlock any, and I'll explain that when I get to experience points. Let's see. So let's get to the attributes, and then I'll go back to experience points. Attributes, fighter starts with 3 to attack. So I have the attributes over here. So I got inspiration watching the Digital DM Dave's stream and how he set up his basic D&D sheets. So what I did is you really won't have to unlock these much, but what I started with is I enabled the formula and did a die string to start with an attack score and an attack bonus. So the attack score is the first box here, 3. So he starts with 3, so it's going to roll 3. And as you win encounters, and I'll show you this during the game, you actually will add to your attributes. So you'll add 1 point every time you win an encounter. And And then at the end, once you get all 5 of these filled out, you get a +1. So I'll be updating these scores. I'll update the attack score as I defeat different encounters, and then I'll add to the attack bonus as I fill out rows. Same thing for defense. You get a defensive bonus. For agility, you increase what's called the dungeon threat. So given it doesn't directly affect your roll, you'll notice I just have a score in here. Same thing for intelligence. It's going to be hard to read on stream, but that says decrease combat die. So I'll get into that when we start to play. Luck, again, 2 points. Once you fill out a row in luck, then you unlock an additional experience point that you can put anywhere. So that's just an experience bonus. So again, that just has a score. All right, so let's go through skills now. Experience points. Everyone starts, no matter what your class is, with 12 experience points. And that represents the number of attribute scores you start with. So although these change by heroes, you're always going to start with 12 between attack, defense, agility, intelligence, and luck. So you always start with 12. So every time you defeat an encounter, you'll add an attribute point, and then you'll also add an experience point. Once you get to 20 experience points, you unlock your first skill. So you can see for mine, it's well trained for a fighter, but once I get to 12 experience points, then I will go ahead and add to the tracker 3 skill points. And you can replenish those with skill books, and I'll get to all that. So you can actually use this hero sheet if you want instead. I think it's going to be fun to use the actual character sheet. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and let's look at the Warlock real quickly. Same thing, but you can see he starts with 6 hit points or health points and still 12 experience points. And I'll explain hatred if and when we get to a boss fight, but he has, go to his skill sheet. Didn't know which ones I was going to select, so I didn't have these done before stream. There we go. All right. So in his case, he has 12, but he's got 4 attack. So you can see I've already coded that. 1 defense, 2 agility, 3 intelligence, and 2 luck. And again, I'll kind of go through how those work. He does have different skills. And so again, once he gets to 20, he'll unlock the first skill. He won't unlock the second skill until he gets to 30 experience points, and then finally 40. All right, so I'm going to throw these into the combat tracker. So let's do this. I think I haven't used Fantasy Grounds before. All right, so I'm just going to leave him as Warlock and Fighter. Just not going to worry about naming him for tonight. Hero points, it's baked into more core, but I'm not really using him for what I'm doing. So, all right, so let's do this. Couple other things. Let's open the dungeon sheet. So this is the gameplay, which is what we're going to be showing tonight. So this is how we're going to start, but before we start, I want to show the dungeon sheet because that's going to be up for the majority of the game. So this is the dungeon sheet. This is your playing surface. These are all the different encounters that you can encounter during the game. And I'll show you, we're going to roll a d6 and you're going to put dice on each of these, which represents kind of the initial score. So each of these has its own basic dice score. And then they also get to roll a d6. And you have to try to overcome each of these. And each of these maps, if you see this one up here for monster, just to make it easier for all of us, I put the number in my attribute score. So basically for a monster, I'm going to be rolling my attack against the monster's basic die plus his combat die, which I'll roll. 2 is trap, and that goes against my defense. 3 is stealth, which goes against agility, exploration, intelligence, and luck is treasure. Now you do have the ability to rest, and there's tables I'll get into when you do rest. Rest isn't really an encounter, but you're allowed to do rest whenever you want. But you're going to go deeper into the dungeon and have a stronger chance of encountering the boss, so you don't want to rest too often. All right, so you're going to mark a slash. So let's do this. I'm going to say, just to make it easier, my fighter, I'm going to put as initiative order 1. Oops, I meant to do the fighter. And then I'm going to do the warlock as 2. You always go first as the player against the dungeon, and you kind of alternate turns who goes first. So I'm just going to signify The first level of the dungeon, or every odd level, is going to be my warlock. Hey, Praetors, what's up, man? Thanks for joining, Duff. Little map maker. I converted this into more core. It's pretty fun. Actually, when I do that map, anybody's interested in checking it out on the forums. All right, so let's do this. A couple tokens I want to show you guys as we get started here. There's checkmark tokens that we're going to be using to mark these on our hero sheets. And these are in the module when you open them. There's dice. You'll see that I put those in my hotkey bar. I would strongly recommend you do that. So these are all, they're sized, should be sized pretty well. All right, meant to do one more. And then there's also map maker itself. So these are all the tokens for the different classes. And you have some conditions when we fight the boss. And we also have a level counter, and I want to show that because I need to put this to keep track. In the physical game, you can use a little marker to do this. I'm going to scale this down just a bit, but it should be scaled pretty close. So I'm going to put this on 1 to signify 1 out of 5 slashes. Okay, so these are the levels of the dungeon as we go up. So we'll start at level 1, and I'm going to open, these are just links to the gameplay to help you learn how to play. These are links to the tables, depending on if you win an treasure encounter or if you go into if you take a rest. All right, so this is the normal encounter, which I'll put over here, maybe here as well. And I'm going to put that in the combat tracker. Doesn't matter if I make it visible, but I will, because you can play this. I've played this with Rob a couple of times. And you'll notice for the monster encounter, I have an ability to increase the dungeon threat. So as we go up, so as we get to the second dungeon level here, I'll actually put a 1 in all these columns because it's going to roll with a +1. All right, so let's get into it. So here's the record keeping, mark a slash. We've essentially done that using the turn indicator. And I'll show the elite encounter when that comes up. All right, rolling the basic dice. So with 1 player, I did hotkey a solo dice, but we're going to do 2 players. So let's kind of skim down. So we're down here to the multiplayer rules. Roll a 66 and put them randomly. I just do them in order. So I've got a hotkey here for rolling the basic dice, and obviously you guys know how to do that. You just left click on a D6, right click 6 times, and drag it into a hotkey bar. I'm sure you guys all know how to do that. So here we go. We're rolling 66. All right. So let's go to the next step here. So the first thing you do is you check to see if you encounter the boss. So you add the total up of the 6 dice, which is 24. Fantasy Grounds does that for you. And if it's greater than or equal to the boss encounter score, you immediately fight the boss. Okay, and the way you find that is, again, it might be a little hard to read on stream, but there's a 31 where my arrow is right above this tracker. So it progressively goes down, so your ability or your chance of encountering the boss is going to go up the deeper you go into the dungeon. But right now it's 31, so you essentially have to roll, I think it's what, on average of a 5.5 or something to actually encounter him. So we're not encountering the boss. So we're good with that. The second thing you do is you check to see if you have an event. So if you roll exactly 3 dice that are the same, and in our case we did, we have 3 5s. If we had 2 5s, or if we had 5 5s or 4 5s, it wouldn't matter. But if you have 3 of the same, then you immediately go to an event. So let me show you what that looks like. These are just the images from the game. So let me scale this down. So if you actually bought the physical copy of the game, you'll get these, and then you can use these. And we could use these as well if we wanted to. We could just kind of roll, and I could show you how that works, but I created tables for those. So what you do is the event number is determined by rolling 2 additional dice, so 2d6, and then whatever that total is, then you add the dungeon number that you're in. So if I roll a 12, since we are in dungeon number, if you remember right, 3, then it would be 123. Be a 12, then you would append the 3, not add the 3. But let's just go straight to the event table. So I went to dungeon, now that I know that we're 3, Let's see. It should just be straightforward the way I coded it. So let's just roll. Hopefully I did it right. All right, so here we go. Exploration Runestone. Add 1 additional experience to you after resolving any encounter. So if I remember right, and this gets a little confusing, but I don't want to pause the game. Oh, here we go. It says right here. Perfect. The wording "you" indicates the starting player for that round. So this one only applies to the fighter, since he was the starting player. If it said your hero, then it indicates the player that selects that encounter type. So it might be, just related to a trap encounter or an exploration encounter. But in this case, I'm going to leave that in chat so I don't forget. But I would get an additional experience to any encounter for the fighter. So that's pretty cool. All right. What's next? Select and execute the encounter. So what we need to do now is we need to take all of these dice. So now that we've done the encounter, so we have a 5-5, 2-5. So I tried to scale these pretty close, assuming that your dungeon sheet would be about this size. So we got a 5, a 5, 2, a 5. Oh no. Yeah, 2, 5, then a 6 and a 1. So it basically represents how challenging each of these encounters will be. So for my fighter, if you look back on his attributes, so again, he starts with a 3 and the dungeon threat 0. So all we're going to do is take this die plus a combat die. So a combat die is going to be a D6. So I'm going to roll against whichever of these encounters I select. So in this case, let's see, agility. Gosh, these are almost all the same. My best chance, I don't want to rest, of course. My best chance is probably going to be stealth, even though we're even in stealth. Because he's got a 5 and I start with a 3, so obviously he's got a better chance. Same with the trap. He's got a 5 and I start with a 4. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to do stealth against my agility. All right, so what we're going to do here, so I have, if I go down to the normal encounter and open that. So his stealth, so let's roll his stealth encounter. So he got a 3. Oh, shoot. Let's try that again. Well, in this case, what I wanted to do is put in a modifier of 2 in the dice pool and then roll, because this is going to change each time, but we know he got a 5. We'll just keep that. So for mine, I'm going to roll my agility. 6. Okay, so all I have to do is tie or beat him. I'm going to see, is my mic peaking at all? Looks like it's okay. Might turn it down just a bit. Just want to make sure I'm not too loud for you guys. All right. So I won that encounter. So there's a couple things that we're going to want to do. Let's go to my hero sheet. So I like to do this. It's not, you don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and put on my agility. So I'm going to add that little check mark. So I know that I added 1 to my agility. Then I'm going to close that. Then remember, every time I increase my experience points, and that should be tied into the combat tracker. So if I change that to 13, it should update. Perfect. Gets me 1 closer to unlocking my first skill. So I got that, and then I go into my agility and change that from a 2 to a 3. So I know next time when I roll, it's going to roll the right number. The other thing you do, if you beat an encounter, you delete the combat die, because the next adventurer cannot do the same encounter. You would leave that if you lost the encounter. The other thing I almost forgot is, because I was the fighter, I add 1 additional experience. Now it doesn't say where. That's interesting. Because usually when you get an experience point, you can add it to any attribute. I think that's right. I'm going to play it that way, and I can look at it later. So I'm going to do that to 14, and usually your XP can go to any of your attributes. So I'm going to play it that way, and I'll look at it later to make sure that was right. All right, so what do I want to add it to? I think I'm going to add it to defense because that would complete defense. All right, so now I have a defense and an agility, and I've completed that row, so I have a +1. So now I'm going to go back to defense, and that goes to 5. You can also just remember anytime any of these goes to 5, you're going to add 1 to the modifier bonus. So now I've got 5 for the row +1 for the modifier. Awesome. And now I'm going to delete that die. I don't want to delete, well, I'll show you that in a minute, and that's the fighter's turn. So I guess if you really wanted to, you could click on the warlock next. So now the warlock, close him, or at least hide him, I guess. Minimize him. Put him down here. All right, the warlock, he's got a 4 attack against a 5 basic die. That's not good. 1 defense against a 5. Wow, he doesn't have any good options. He doesn't want to rest because, I mean, I guess it's possible. So here's how rest works. You would add this die, and then you would roll a straight D6. So I would put in here a 1, and then I'd roll, and then you add those two together. So literally whatever this die is, you want to put in the modifier box here, and then roll straight. So the one thing I could get, since this is a low number, if I get another 1, I would get 2 health potions that I could use later. If I get a 2, so 2 + 1, I would get, see this here signifies a hit point or a health point. It's not going to help me because you can never get above your current XP or your current health point, excuse me. But so if I got low, if I got a 1, 2, or 3, I would at least get a health potion. If I got a 4, 5, or 6, I got a 50% chance of getting something that I could use. But you know what? Maybe I'll do the attack. I'm tempted to rest, but you know what? It's way too early. We're going to do the monster. Yeah, we're going to do the attack. So let's go to the normal encounter again. Open that. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the modifier box because he's got a 5. I'm just going to put 5 in the modifier box at the bottom left. And then I'm just going to roll his monster encounter. Holy crap. There you go. And that's how it's done, folks. Well, I can't beat that. He's got an 11. And since my best attack value is going to be a 9, I lost. So when you lose, you strike out a hit point. So we'll go to the wounds and do a 1. So you can see that should have dynamically updated here. Yep, it did. And again, if you want to, which I think is fun, you can always go here and maybe put a red X just to kind of strike out a health point, just to signify that you lost a health point. All right, and that's a round. That's the anatomy of a round. So I'm going to clear chat. This is something actually I always fight with, right-clicking and trying to clear my chat. I saw on one of Rob Tui's streams where he typed in \clear into the chat, literally just like that. And I should have known this, and then just drug it to his hotkey bar. It's much easier, and then you can just hit clear. All right, so now we're going to rotate this to 2. So now we're in the second level of the dungeon. Remember, once we get to 5, we'll move over 1. And again, since we're on number 2, and the, oh shoot, should have been, I know we started with the fighter, so let's do this again. So the fighter should be all odd rounds or dungeon levels. He'll start first, and the warlock will start first in every even. So we're going to start with the warlock. All right, so I have to clear these individually. I don't really want to delete all tokens, because if I do that, then I'll lose the tracker. So let's just delete them one by one. It's pretty easy. It's kind of fun for a simple game. I actually enjoy it. So let's roll the basic dice. And now this will go a little bit quicker now that I've explained it to you guys. 26 against a 31. So I don't trigger a boss encounter immediately, which is good, because the bosses do not change. I screwed that up. They're always just as strong as they're going to be. They do strengthen a little bit because they do get to add these dungeon threats, but the point is I'm not very strong. I don't want to fight the boss yet. So I got a 6. So we'll do a 6. 1, 4, 5, a 5, and a 5. So you can do this first, and as you guys are probably yelling at me in chat, or at least in your head, but wait, Gwydion, You got 3 of the same number. Yes, you're right, I did. So you know what that means? That means we're doing an event table again. So we'll go to the event table and we'll roll for our encounter. 7. Statue of Inspirer you. So again, you'll remember now this time, since the Warlock went first, that means only the Warlock temporarily gain 1 intelligence during this turn. That's interesting. Never seen that one. So let's do this. I know it's not necessary, but I have a couple effects in there, but I'm just gonna say intelligence +1, and it's 1 round. Drag it onto him. You don't really need to do this. This is overkill, but it's just a note. But it'll go off after the next round. So what we'll do for him now is, if I want to use intelligence, that's going to make that a 4, but that's against the exploration of a 5. So I probably won't use that. If I did, I'd just add another modifier of 1 down here. But trap, against the defense, man, all these numbers are pretty high. I think I'm going to go mono against his defense, or my defense against the trap. So let's do this. He's got a 1, so we're going to put a 1 down here. We're going to go down to open his character sheet. I guess I should just open it from down here. And we're going to roll a trap encounter. Yes, 2. So I am going to roll, this doesn't help me because it's intelligence, but I'm going to roll my defense trap, and I hope I roll above a 1. Actually, it won't matter, because a tie goes to me. So if you're attacking, or you're the hero, a tie goes to you. But I did beat him by 1, just barely. So again, let's go to his hero sheet. So that was defense. So let's go to my hotkey bar, go down to defense, add that. He still has that 1 hit point he's lost. But I do get another experience point, so I go to 13. Oh, 13. And that was defense. So his defense goes to 2. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. Delete token. And now we're down to the fighter. So the fighter's got a 3 against a 6. He's got an agility of 3 against a 4. Oh, man. He really wants to use his defense. But the trap, yeah, he already used the trap. Could use agility. Agility is down by 1. Attack, I don't really want to chance that. Yeah, I guess he'll use agility. He's down by 1. Let's put a 4 in the modifier. And we'll roll for his agility, which is, agility is 3. Stealth, that's right. He rolled a 2 plus 4. Yep, is 6. My agility roll is a 5 plus 3 is 8. Excellent. All right, so my agility goes to a 4. Go to the hero sheet. So that's good. So my agility goes to a 4. My experience points goes to 15. And that's because he has that extra. Yeah, that's right. He got an extra experience point. So that's that. And that's the round. So it goes relatively quick once you start getting the hang of it. And then once we fight the boss, then it gets pretty interesting. All right. And if you guys are interested, I'll just throw it in there in case somebody popped in while I wasn't paying attention. Trying to pay attention to the channel. All right. So now we're going to 3. So we're at dungeon level 3. And the fighter is going to go because he's odd numbered. So we will do our roll. Let's clear out chat. We don't need that anymore. Roll our basic dice. 15, well under the boss encounter of 31. So let's populate this. 3, 3, 5. Isn't it cool while I'm doing this? I mean, Morecore is so, what's the word I'm looking for? So flexible, gosh, brain freeze. So flexible to be able to put in a game like this. I would have never dreamed initially to put this in, but, and again, it's available free on the Fantasy Grounds forums. I threw it out there. The guy that made the game was kind enough to allow me to convert it and put it out there, but this is free on Fantasy Grounds. Don't forget, you have to download Morecore separately as a rule set. So it's not just part of the packages that come with Fantasy Grounds like Core RPG is. So you have to download it separately and keep it updated separately, but it's free. All right, so that's that. So we're back to the fighter first. This looks better. So I think I want to bolster his attack though, because when it comes, maybe the Warlock's got a better attack. Wow, the fighter's got a better defense. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do my defense to keep. Treasure's nice, but I'm not quite. I've got a 2 against a 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go defense. Defense. So let's see, 3 modifier, and then we're gonna go to encounter. 2 trap. So he rolled a 6, and I'm rolling against my. Wait, what did I do? Yeah, trap. 2, that's defense. Okay. Oh boy, that's right. I forgot. I had such a high. I get 5 because I got the row filled out. I get another +1, so I won no matter what. So that's awesome. Let's take off the trap encounter because I won. Let's put the defense to 6. Let's put our XP to 16. Let's go back to our sheet just for fun. Put it in the next line. And we're off to the races. Yeah, Zephyr, yeah, that's how I found some of his, some of the functionality more core. I knew some of it was there, but watching Dave's videos were really cool. All right, so I got 16 to that, boom. Put that, so now it's the Warlock's turn. So the Warlock is going to do, yeah, he's going to do attack. He wants to increase his attack. So we'll do a 3 in the modifier, and we'll pull up his roll. And that's the monster roll. So monster encounter, 5, that's an 8. Against my attack, come on. Oh, God, he's getting hurt. So he loses another XP. So he's down to 4. And you don't lose if one of your heroes go down. Fortunately, gotta have them both go down, so I'm gonna put an X in there. So I might need to rest soon. So that's that round. Boss encounters are a little crazy. They get pretty convoluted, or not convoluted, but pretty crazy. All right, so let's clear. We're in round 4. Hey, what's up, Shadzar, man? No Barbara Streisand here. What? Don't give. Find me a I don't know. You're losing me. I know Barbara Streisand, but I don't know the song. All right. So we are in round 4. So that means the Warlock goes first. So let's go to roll because he's the even number. Roll the basic die. 18 is below our 31. Don't fight the boss. So we'll do 2. Do 2. Hope you're doing well tonight, Shad. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Just having a little fun with this game I converted into more core. It's a board game. I have the physical copy for $9. Oh, match. I think I know what you're talking about now. All right. So let's see. I did not. Oh, I do have 3 Gs. I'm getting an event every time. I got 3 2s. 3 2s. So yes, I have an event. So I'm on table 3. Let's see what event we get. Mind Flayer. Oh, that doesn't sound good. After rolling combat dice, exchange the score of the encounter with your hero and then resolve the encounter. So your hero means everybody. If you remember right down here, indicates the player that selects the encounter type. Yeah, so that it doesn't really give you an encounter type. So I take that as being any of them, any encounter. So I think we both have to deal with that. Monster. Oh, wait. Well, it says monster. Okay, so that is what it is. It's the monster encounter. If you take that, then the combat dice, which is the one you actually roll, you exchange the core. Oh, the score. So it's just a pure score swap. All right. Ooh, geez, 90-degree weather, Shad. I'm sorry, man. Sorry to hear that. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to have the Warlock go. So if he, yeah, I don't think I want to do the monster attack then because then we'd have to swap scores. So, God, treasure's too high, so it's probably either going to be defense or agility. And I'd rather have the fighter do the agility, the defense, so we're going to do agility. So we're going to put a 2 in the modifier. And we're going to resolve the trap encounter. He gets an 8. Oh, great. So I'm going to roll my defense, which is a 2 and a 3, a 5. Jesus. Why didn't I rest? God damn it. Why didn't I rest? That was stupid. It was really stupid. I'm still learning. So let's put this. Yeah, he's going to have to definitely rest. I even said that last turn. I just forgot. So that goes down. So he's got 3 left on XP. Or hit points, excuse me. Wounds of 3. So now remember this, that stays on because I did not defeat the attack. So now my fighter, I don't want to do the monster encounter because I'll have to do that mind flayer bullshit. I don't want to do that. So I might do the trap because I want to really keep jacking up my defense. So let's do that. So we're going to put a 2. We're going to roll the trap encounter. So that's a 7. And the defense, so it's not going to matter. 9. So I win that, which is great. We'll start up top. 17. I'm 3 away from unlocking my first skill. And my defense goes to 7. Let's go down to the hero sheet. Put a little checky here. All right. That should be it. I'm getting close to the end of the first 5, which will mean we're going to have to increase or actually have a dungeon threat level for 1. So now we're 5. So this is the last one on this level. I got you. Yeah, I mean, it works pretty well. I've done this with Rob and shared the whole module. I've created it as a player mod, so it works pretty well, but I got you. All right. So we'll clear this, and we're going to go to, so we're at an odd round, so the fighters can start. Clear that again, and we're going to roll our basic dice. Come on. There we go. 13, still below a 31. Ooh, these are all low. This is great. So we'll do a 2. 2. 3. 1. 1. And a 4. All right, so I don't have any 3, so no event, which is probably good. My fighter goes first. He's got a lot. Ooh, treasure is tempting because you can get like some skills and some various things. But I want to get his attack up first before I start getting crazy. So let's get his attack. I want to fill out that row. So we're going to put a 2 in the modifier. And we're going to roll his attack, his monster attack. The Mind Flayer doesn't apply because that was just for the last round. So he's got a 4 against my attack, which is an 8. Excellent. So we'll get that off there because I did defeat it. XP goes to 18. His attack goes to 4. Go to that hero sheet. And there we go. Excellent. All right, now I'm on the Warlock. So he starts with a 4. He really wants to rest because he's hurting. So remember, it's this plus whatever number. I'm looking at your comment, Chad. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think you got that fixed, though. I think. All right, so if I start with a 4, so if I get a 1, it's going to be a 5. So that's 2 hit points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 6. That's excellent. So I have a 67% chance of getting 1 hit point back at least. I think I'll take that. That'd be helpful. So I'm going to open the rest table because this is a 4. Make that a 4. So that's going to be a 1d6 plus 4, which is what it should be. And then roll. So I rolled a 1, which is awesome. Or no, did I roll a 2? Which is awesome because that is a hit point and a skill point. So I get 1 of each. Now, the unfortunate thing is because I haven't been able to use skill points, I can't go above the 8 that I start with, but I do get a hit point back. So I'm going to change my wounds to 2. So I changed that to 2. Sorry, Chad, I'm trying to follow you while I'm focusing on the game here. So let's see. I don't get a skill point, but I'm going to go back to my character sheet. And I'm going to take one of these off. Boom. Oh, I'll just drag it down, I think. I don't think I can. Can I just drag it off? Oh, I guess I could have deleted it. All right. So that's the turn. Yeah, these are just images on top of a map. And I don't have to do the way I'm doing it. I can just use the other. I thought it was some funny new character sheet. No, it's not. I mean, you can do it just off the character or the image sheets too. I just think this is fun. All right, so I'm going to clear this rule. So now we're back to 1. Move this over. So now we are still at the 31 for the boss encounter score, but now we're at a +1 to the dungeon threat. So just so I don't forget, I'm going to go into the encounter and type a 1 in each of these for the dungeon threat. So that way when I do the rolls, I don't have to remember. It's all good. I just change this every 5 rounds. So do that once and it's kind of call it good. All right, so now we're at 1. We're back to the fighter. The fighter is going to go first, and we'll do our basic die roll. 24 against 31, we're good. So let's drop the dice. We got a 4, 5, 3, 2, 4, and a 6. All right, so there's no 3 of any die, so no encounter, so that's great. So now I just decide what the fighter wants to do. Agility is his best, and that actually would complete a row, so that's actually good. So let's do this. On this insight. It's fine, my mind is 100 places on this since I can see it and just, yeah, I got you. Totally understand. It's taken me a long time to... But I'm not the smartest man. All right. So we're going to do what did I say we're going to do. We are going to do exploration. No. We're going to do agility against stealth because I want to complete that row if possible. So we're going to do this down to 3. We're going to open his character sheet again, and that is 3, which is stealth. And he adds that +1 because we're at a lower level of the dungeon. So that's a 5. And my agility... It's gonna be a win no matter what. So that's awesome. So the stealth is gone. I'm 1 point away. I'm at 19. So 1 more point and I unlock the first skill, and then I'll populate the tracker up here. Let's go to agility, and that's a 5. And let's open the character sheet because that does not add a bonus point to agility. I'll explain what that does. So what that does is subtract 1 from the dungeon threat. So that gets a little confusing, but I think how I'll handle that, and I should have gone up to the warlock. I'm going to, whoop, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to get on him and take off the effect. So I think, there's probably a billion ways to do this, but for now, I think what I'm going to do is just add an effect and just say dungeon threat -1, just so I don't forget when it's the fighter's turn, because it only affects him. It doesn't affect the warlock. All right, so that's done. Now the warlock goes. So let's see, what does he want to do? He's still hurting, but he's got 4 hit points out of 6, so he's still at 67% of his health. He could do an attack. Intelligence. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try to complete his attack row. So I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to put a 4. Ooh, that's going to be a 5 though, isn't it? I forgot about that. It adds 1. That's all right. We'll try it. Got to try it. Oh my God. Now I have no chance because he's at an 11 and the best I can do is my 4 + 6 is 10. So lose a hit point. So he goes to 3. And I'm going to go back to my hero sheet. And I got to put an X again. He's down to 3. And that's a wrap on that. All right, let's clear that out. Let's move this to 2. So we're on an even number, so the Warlock goes first, and he's going to roll a basic die. 16, we're well under where we need to be. 4, 5, 2, 2. That's good. 1. Somebody needs to go after the treasure so I can show you that. All right, so the Warlock, who's got the better luck? Oh, they both have the same luck. But I think the Warlock attack's not the best. Keep forgetting we've already... you know what? He's going to do intelligence because at least he's even there. He's going to do the intelligence encounter. Why not? All right, so we're going to do a 2 down here. It's going to automatically add another one for the dungeon threat. That's exploration. That's a 5. That's not too bad. And that's against my intelligence. Ooh, all right. All right. So we'll take that off. Intelligence goes to a 4. Experience, I should have done that first to keep the same order. So yeah, he hasn't done that well. But at least he's getting close to filling out another one. All right, so now the fighter goes. And the fighter defense is looking better. You know what he is going to do? He's going to take a chance and go for the luck. So we're going to put a 1 down here. And we're going to roll on the treasure encounter. That's nice. So it doesn't matter, but I'm going to roll anyway. So I won. So I won that encounter. So now what happens is you go to the treasure table. And these are all the things that are just mapped to this. This means an attack point. This is a defense point. Or no, this is... I think that's right. Yeah, it's a defense point. This is actually you lose a hit point. So there's a couple that are negative, but in most cases it's good. Yeah, this is, but I'm positive this is a defense. I had myself questioning that for a second. So here we go. 10. 1 agility or intelligence skill point. That's awesome. So that's going to add, and that is the fighter, right? So he's going to go to 20, which is awesome. So it's either an agility, which should be to 6, or intelligence. My intelligence is already crap, so I'm going to do the agility, make that 6. And then we're going to go to my character sheet. Agility. That's 6. So now I get to change this to a 3. So remember, since I'm a fighter, I start with 3 skill points, and I can never go above that. But if I get skill books from treasure, just to crush you. What? Wow, you look who is squatting in FG. I don't know who you're pointing to. I don't know who you're talking about, Chad. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading my little chat. I've got it in a small portion of the screen. All right, so I did the agility point. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show everybody. So I did, and maybe I'll just do an arrow here or a circle. Let's do a circle so that I know I've got this now. I just want to remember that. So I get to use this anytime during my turn. Reroll, use the higher roll as your score. So that's cool. Oh, Rob. Oh, that's fine. I don't mind Rob doing that. That's great. Mine is just really to get this on YouTube. I wanted to be able to explain to people how to play this, so no problem at all. All right, let's see. So I've done that, did that. I've got my unlocked that, and I'm in the second round. So that means the Warlock went first, right? Did the Warlock go first? He must have. Yep. So I'm done with this round. It'd be great if I could get to the boss, because I really did want to finish before Rob streams so that I could watch that too. So we're going to 3 here, and we're going to clear this out. So 3 means we're at an odd number, so the fighter's going to start. Oh, I have to remember dungeon threat -1. So that should have, since we are at a 1 dungeon threat, that means that it's going to be a -1 for the fighter, so it's going to be 0 for the fighter. So I need to code a -1 in the modifier. I need to remember that. All right, so let's roll. Oh, yeah, I got you. I've done that before, Shad. 29. Ooh, that was close to a boss encounter. Ooh, very close. I don't really want to fight him yet still. So 5, 5, 4, 5, 6. Like I said, I resized these dice. RoboCop, I did these dice, but they were huge. So I did them 100 by 100, and they... So if you look at your tokens and you look at the bag, I'm sharing this because I was letting Rob use it when he was playing, but I resized these. The originals are much bigger. So that they seem to work pretty well now. And I did not grid this because it jacks everything up. So, all right, so let's see. Do I have 3? 1, 2, 3. It's an encounter. And we're in the 3rd dungeon. So let's roll for our encounter. Trap. So that's only for this encounter. Spike trap. Before resolving this encounter, the exploration encounter cannot be chosen. Before resolving this encounter. Oh, so if I wanted to, excuse me, I'm getting resituated. Yeah, -1 modifier, that's right. So if I want to do the trap encounter, I have to. It sounds like... Wait, now I'm confused. Before resolving this encounter. Okay, so I guess what that means is nobody can pick the exploration encounter before resolving this encounter. That's interesting. All right. I've not seen that before, but we are at the fighter, and the fighter is not going to do that. He's going to do the trap. He's going to keep cranking on defense. Why not? So he does get a -1 to the dungeon threat. So you're right, Shad. So I'm going to put a -1 in the modifier. So that's going to reduce his roll, and that'll just mitigate the dungeon threat here. And then he's going to roll the trap. And I guess that's good, because now if I win this, then the Warlock could do the exploration if he wants. So that's a 2, and that's a +1 for the dungeon threat, -1 for the fighter because he gets that modifier. So that's a 2, and the fighter's going to roll whatever, it doesn't matter, a 9. So that's great. So he's going to go up to a 21. And remember, I could have used my power, but I would have had to use one of my skill points, and I only get 3. So if I had to re-roll, I could have, but I didn't need to. This goes to 8. Go back to his sheet. Boom, boom. Just kind of making it close, and then he did the trap. All right, now the Warlock goes. Now the Warlock is down to, what is he down to again? 3 hit points? God. I really want this to be low because I want to get a health potion. The trap remains until next round if you haven't cleared it. I don't know, Shad. I don't think so. I think it's just an effect for this one round. I don't think the trap stays because you re-roll for the trap each round, or each dungeon level. That's how I'm playing it, at least. All right, the Warlock, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Oh, these are all high. So what's his best chance? Intelligence is 4. I guess he could rest, but then he really wants a hit point. So if he gets 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, he's got a pretty good chance of getting a health point. Yeah, let's do it. He's going to rest. He's a wimp. So we're going to put the 4 in the modifier. We're going to open up. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to get that back. I want to do a 4 here. It's already got a 4. That must have been there before, but let's... Low numbers. Yes. So he gets a hit point and a skill point. He hasn't used skill points because he hasn't unlocked it. But he gets back a health point, so that's good. All right. And we're done. All right. Crank this down to 4, so that means the Warlock goes first. Let's clear that out. Roll the basic die. I know, Shad. I don't know. I'm still learning this too, but I've been talking to the guy and going on Board Game Geek and asking questions. It's a good guy. He's based in China, but took a while for the physical game to get to me, but it was $9 all in, so I can't complain. He's doing another one like this, much more detailed. That looks really fun because you can do it solo. I don't know if I'll be able to convert that into FG because that'll take me forever probably. All right, there's not 3, so no encounter. So the Warlock goes first, and I want to finish my attack. So he's going to put a 2 in here. It's going to add 1 because of the dungeon threat. But let's do the monster encounter. Ugh, 8. Damn it. All right, so now I do a 4. So I need a 4 or 5? Yes, I tied, so I win. Is there a way to select all tokens on a map and delete? Yeah, there is, Shad. And that's the problem, is you can't, let me see if I can do something. If I lock this, lock token scale. Yeah, I can reset the individual token scale, but I don't think I can. Unfortunately, I'd have to do them all and then throw them back on. So I don't know of a way to do it. All right, so I won. That's great. And I won the monster encounter, so I'll take it off. Gets him to 15. He's still... I haven't had success. I've played a couple of games, not all the way through, but with the Warlock. And so that was attacks. That goes to 5. So if you remember right, that gives you the attack bonus, which is great. But I'll do it on a sheet to show you. So there's that. And I guess I could designate it here, but it doesn't matter. I've got it on my character sheet. So that's that. Then the fighter goes. The fighter could do defense, but you know, well, his intelligence. Oh no, his luck. Yeah, he's going to keep cranking away on defense. Might as well. I want to get that as high as I can. And do the -1 modifier. So it'd be 4, but I'm going to just make that a 3. I know I could probably do that another way. I could do 2 different modifiers, but we'll just make that a 3 to subtract 1 for the dungeon threat. And then we'll open and we'll roll the trap. So that should just make it 1 + 4. That's right, because those two offset. Is that right? 1 + 4. Yeah, that's right. And mine is going to win no matter what, but I like to roll it anyway. Oh, 15. Crushed him. All right, so defense goes to 9. And XP goes to 22. Let me finish this, and I see you guys talking, and I'll take a look at that in a second. See if there's something I can explain. Defense. I'm almost filled out a second row. I haven't done anything in luck, though. It'd be nice to get extra experience points. So the fighter, we're on even numbers, so the warlock went first. Okay, what are we talking about here? Maybe drag the red wheel out, then delete all tokens, then drag. That's a good idea. I might try it. Yeah, I'll try it. Separate image for the spinning token bar. I don't think you can drag tokens to hotbar keys, can you? Yeah, let's try it. Why not? So I just finished that. That was the warlock went first, so let's try it. Let me see if I can throw this down here. I mean, it just throws it down here. I wonder if I can throw it on a Alt-Shift. Can I throw it on a... Oh, I did. I threw it on a hotkey bar, Shift-Alt. So let's try this. So then let's do delete all tokens. And then let's do the Shift-Alt, drag it back. Okay. Yeah, that might be a good alternative. All the dice are tokens. It's just images. So that worked pretty well, guys. I mean, that, you know, I'm going to make this down a little bit lower. Oh, that was 4, right? Yeah, so now this is going to be 5. All right, so now, okay, the one thing that you can't really see is there's a 2 for elite encounter. So when you get to the end of every 10 rounds or every 10 levels, so here, 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 you can see there's a number up here. It's hard to read. There's a 2. So that means that every encounter, the dungeon threat goes up by 2. Is it remembered the facing? I think so. That is nice. I'll have to try that again, but I think it did. And I guess I could, you know what I could do since I hotkeyed him, guys? I don't know. I guess I could either leave it or I'd have to remember the facing, like you said, the number it was on when I deleted it. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if I delete them all. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so what I was saying is elite encounter. So I need to add that. So let's first do the roll. So let's clear. So we're on 5, so that's the fighter. Roll 6 dice. 22, so I'm good. So let's put these up. 3, 6. Thanks for asking that question, because I wouldn't have thought about that. 3, 2, 2, 6. All right, so now This is a special type of encounter, and I did an effect that I probably, or no, I didn't. I did a shift. I did a special elite encounter +2 that changes that modifier. So I put the elite encounter in there so I don't forget. All right, so we are at the fighter because we're at number 5. So remember, everything is going to have a +2. But I need to do a -1 for the dungeon threat, but a +1. So those are going to offset. But I need to do that -1. So I think I can do... Don't I do... I always forget. I know you can do more modifiers. So I can do a -1. Oops. -1. Does that... I always forget. Damn it. I know you can do more than just one. I'm going to roll... I just want to see something. I'm not going to... 4 minus... Yeah, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. So let's do this again. Let's do this again. So we're at a 5, so I know that it's going to be a... We'll do the dungeon threat, so I don't forget. We'll do the elite encounter. +2. God, I'm really screwing things up here. All right, there we go. +2. So I won't forget that. So now what is he going to do? He's going to do probably, oh, defense is high. Agility. So I do get one extra experience point too. So if I do an extra, so I'll get 2 experience points if I beat this encounter. So agility, I'd have a 6 against 3 +2 is 5, and then the others will subtract each other out. So you know what? I'm going to do the stealth. So I think the way to do this, there's probably another way, but I'm going to change this to a -1. So I did that. Oh, whoa, did I? Elite encounter. I always screw this up, so I'm going to clear this. I always screw this up, but I know it's a 2 -1 is going to be a +1. So let's just do that. I know there's a way to do multiple dice in here. I just don't do it very often. All right, here we go. We're doing, what did I decide? A stealth? Yeah, against my agility. That should work. Oh, God. So a 6 +2. So that should be right. It was a 3. Let's see if that... Is that right? 3, it'd be 4, 5. No, that's not right. Did he get a 6? Oh, I know what God damn it. So what we should do, I'll keep that 6 because it was a 6 +3 is 9. So he got a 10 because yeah, he got a 10. So let's see what I get. My agility, he got a 10. I got a 12. Good. I'll have to go through that again. That was painful, but I did it. I know I got it. So that is stealth. That's agility. That goes to 7. Oh, and I could have re-rolled it. I got to remember that. So that goes there. Let's go to his character sheet. Agility, right? Yeah. Okay, I did that. Did I miss anything else? Agility, 7. Oh, 2 experience points. So I get 1 more, which is nice. Oh, man, Zifurby, thanks for coming by, man. Good night. Thanks for coming by. So I get 1 more XP, and I can put that anywhere. So I'm going to make my defense 10. So my bonus is going to be 2 here. So that's nice. So defense is 10. Bonus is 2. That's great. All right. So we're at odd number. So now the warlock goes. What does he want to do? And you could punt and just do the rest. Let's see. So he's going to have, this time the elite encounter is nothing that's going to offset it. So I'm just going to click that now. Elite encounter plus, so it's going to be a +2. And he's going to have a +1 to whatever this die is. So let's see. What would he do? Would he do... Maybe exploration, because that would be 2, 3, 4, 5. It's still a challenge. Yeah, why not? He needs to get something going. So that would be another 2. Does that give me the 2? No, it doesn't. God dang it. So I'm going to do the 2 plus the elite encounter 2 plus the dungeon threat level. I always forget how to mess around with this. The modifier, no. So really it's going to be, you know what? Shit, he's going to rest. He's going to wuss out. He's going to rest. So let's do the 6. I know that's a pansy thing to do, but he's going to do it. 7, 1 hit point or 1 skill point. That's probably not bad. So that's going to be 1. So he's up to 5. He's just not doing much for the group. So I'm going to move this down here. So this was at 5, obviously. Let's move that down here. And let's delete all tokens. And then we'll move it up here. Yeah, and I just need to resize it just a bit, but I think I like that. It's quicker. So now we're going to be back to 1, and now we're into a 30 for the dungeon threat. So we're back up to the fighter. I'm going to clear. Take a drink. I haven't drank. All right. Let's do this. So, low, so we're good there. Oh, geez. Right after I take a drink. Must have gone straight to my head. Just kidding. All right, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. All right, there's 3 3s, so I do have an encounter. So let's go back to the encounter. Let's roll. 7, explorations. You temporarily gain 1 intelligence during this turn. All right, so that is, again, we're on an odd number, so that's the fighter. So the dungeon threat is one that doesn't change, but this is going to be intelligence. Chance +1, and that is going to be for a round. Don't forget. All right. So intelligence would be 4. I don't think he's going to do anything there. He's either going to do the monster. So he gets a +2. I need to change that. So let's go into here and we'll go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, so the dungeon threat's 2. We're deeper in the dungeon. So it's going to be a 2 plus whatever we are here. So he's either going to do the attack. Man, the attack is low. I really want to get the attack, but, you know, I think I'm going to go defense. Well, maybe agility is better. Oh, I can re-roll. I can use a skill point. You know what? I'm going to do the attack. Why not? Take a chance. All right, so he's already got the dungeon threat. He's got a 3 down here. So we're going to do monster attack. It's going to add 5, 6, 11 in my attack. Oh, crap. What? Did I really do that the right? Oh, man, it's not going to matter. I screwed that up, didn't I? Well, heck. This is first. Do I have 5 wounds in my... No. He hasn't been hurt at all, has he? I must have been I screwed something up there. He doesn't have any wounds. I was gonna say I haven't put any wounds over here. I'm reading what you're saying, and just yeah, you know what? I kept meaning to change the round, but I haven't done that. But maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. All right. So he does have 1 wound now, though, because he lost that encounter. And this guy is going to do the warlock. He needs to keep getting... So, dungeon threat. He's going to do his intelligence, because, man, I really want to... Oh, no, never mind, that's luck. He's going to do the monster. So let's put a 3 down here. He's going to get a +2, so he starts with a 5. plus his d6. Oh my god, 11. So I can't. Can I win? Yeah, I can. So. Ugh. Needed a 5 or a 6. Damn it. Well, not looking too good for my guys right now. So that goes to a 2. And that's a loss. Oh, the fighter, I don't think I marked. He does have a. But I know he didn't have 5. He only had 1. It's the first time he's been damaged. But the warlock just got damaged again. Oh, man, I wasn't. I don't think I've been very consistent there. He has 2 wounds, so I should have taken off 1 before. So I added 1 back. So he was down to 1 wound, so I just gave him 2. So that should be right. All right, so we'll move this guy down. It's at a 1, but it should save that. Oh, it didn't save that. That was at a 1. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was at a 1. Well, let's see if it moves down here. Yeah, it changes it. It doesn't save it. So I guess I would just have to remember. So that goes to a 2. That goes to a 2. And just... yeah. I don't know which one's quicker, to be honest now. So that means the warlock goes first. And we're going to roll the basic dice. 26. So we're still not fighting the boss yet. 5. 5. Ooh, this is a high roll, though. 6. 5. 2. 3. Hold on 1 second. All right. So we don't have, oh, you do have 3 again. We have another, geez, we're having a lot of events. Let's try it. 7. And my intelligence, the fighter, oh, I didn't change the round. That's why I didn't go over. Okay. Meant to do that. And I keep forgetting I have to take down the dungeon threat. Damn it. I don't think I remembered that. So you temporarily gain 1 intelligence. So again, geez, it seems like I get that a lot. So 1 intelligence. I might have to create some of these so I don't forget. But is he going to use that? Intelligence would be a 5. He's not going to use that, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I do have to remember that dungeon threat -1 because we're at 2 right now. So maybe he'll do treasure. So if he's at a treasure, intelligence of 4. So this guy starts with a 2 + 2 modifier -1 for the dungeon threat. And yeah, let's do that. That should work. Treasure encounter. Shit, I always forget it's luck. Yeah, we're gonna do it. God, I keep rolling too high though. So I need a 4, 5, or 6. Okay, that's possible. 4, 5, or 6. No. Oh, do I want to re-roll? Yes, I do. So I'm going to use a skill point. Oh, wait. God damn it. Am I on the warlock? Yes, 2. I screwed that up. Oh, well. 3. Lost another hit point because he does not have any skills yet. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. All right. So the fighter, luck is a 2, and he could do that same thing. He is going to go after a treasure. Why not? He could go after a, yeah, he's going to go after a treasure. So for him, it's a 2. This would be a 2 -1 for the dungeon threat. So I'm just going to make that a 1. Let's do that. And that should work. I think I screwed that up for the warlock. I think I took a -1, but he lost anyway. Treasure. 4 + 3 is 7. And that's right, because he has, yeah. So now I'm doing luck. Damn, I need a 5 or a 6. Do I really want to waste? No, the chances aren't that good. I'm going to take a damage. I don't want to waste since I don't get that many. I'm not going to waste it. I don't get that many skill points. All right, 2 down. All right, this goes to a 3, so now we're back to the fighter. Let's clear. And let's put this down here. That should be a 3. 3 and the +2. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just... We're in the +2, and that's going to go to a 3. So let's just do this. Yeah, I don't know which is the quicker, but we'll just do that. So the fighter goes first. He's going to roll. 19. 1. Oh, that's good. God dang it. Every once in a while I do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. All right. So the fighter is going to either do, he's going to do attack. I want to get the attack, at least 1 bonus. So let's do the attack. So that means this is going to be a 1 -1 dungeon threat. So that's going to subtract. So that's that. I can do that. So that's going to be 1 -1 0. So it's just going to be a straight up his roll. So he'll have a +2 because he's already got a +2 on the dungeon threat. So that's fine. That's 2 + 2 is 4. So yes, I make it no matter what, just barely. So this is going to be a 5. This is going to be a 1. And we're going to go over here. And that is excellent. And this is going to go to, I think I've been doing these. Sometimes I feel like I forget them, but I think I got it. So that goes off. This goes, so this doesn't change, not yet. The warlock goes. Man. My dog's about to bark, and if he does, I'm gonna mute my mic for a sec. All right. God, he doesn't have anything that's really good. Should he rest again? That just seems weak. He's gonna rest again. Because he's not going to get anything. Nothing looks good. He's going to rest again. So that's a 4. +5 is 9. Regain 2 skill points. Oh, that's the worst possible. So nothing happens. God damn it. All right, so that's a 3. That's going to go to a 4 and +2. So that goes to 4 and +2. All right. Yeah, that's pretty fast. I think that works pretty good. Clear, so 4 means it's the warlock. The warlock goes dungeon threat -1. Okay, roll the basic dice. 20. 3. 5. 3. 2. 2. 5. All right, so the warlock goes first. Probably going to do the monster. God, he's got to get his attack up. Yeah, let's do that. So he's going to go to the monsters at 3, but that's going to go up by 2 to 5. Yeah, but I still have a little bit of an edge. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully low numbers. Really need low numbers. Still a pretty good chance. Yes, got it. God, I really want to get him up to at least 1 skill point before we go into the boss battle. This goes to 6. Let's go here. 6. That was attack. All right. Yes. All right. All right. And the warlock went first. Oh, yeah, I already did that. So the hero goes. Defense would work well. Agility, 3. Let's do agility. So now this would be a 3 but he gets -1 to the dungeon threat, so I'm just going to make that a 2. And that's agility. That's a stealth encounter. It's 8 agility, so this is going to win no matter what. Excellent. So that goes to 8. Goes to 26. Agility. All right. And so that's a 4. That's going to go to a 5 on a +2. All right, so that's not a special elite encounter. That doesn't happen until the 10th. So we go back up to the fighter starts, clear, roll the dice. 20. Still good. 4. 1, 2, 3, 6, 4. I bought all the one, or I guess second edition, but trying to play first edition. Bought all those guides today from Celestian. Or not from him, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. All right, so that's at 5, so we're starting with the fighter. The fighter, oh yeah, he's got to keep cranking his defense, doesn't he? Got to keep going, keep going. So that's going to be a 1 -1 for the dungeon threat, so that's 0. And then just do the trap, which is the second counter. You rolled a 6, which is an 8, but it's still not going to be anywhere close to what mine is because I've already got a 10. Goes to 11. Goes to 27. This goes to... Yep, that's right. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get any intelligence or luck. All right, the warlock's got to do something. He's going to keep trying to attack. So let's do an attack, but this is going to be a 4. Dungeon threat is a 2, so he's going to start with 6. And I start with 7, so let's see what happens. Ooh, that's good. So I'll win no matter what, because that'll be an 8. Okay, 13, excellent. All right, so this goes to 7. This goes to 17. Oh, I don't know if I looked at the numbers. I think I did. Getting sloppy. Yeah. Oh, item packs in 2E, yeah. I really like it. It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, to start. Oh, man. Damn it. All right. Let's see. So he won. The fighter started first. I did all that. I think I'm good. So that's going to go to +3, 1. So that's going to go to +3 and 1. So that goes to 1. Got to make sure I open this. Take it to a 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. Oh, not 33. And those things TUI could use from DOE will never be... Oh, that stinks. I was worried about that because I know the DOE's doesn't work. Damn it. All right, so let's that. So I'm on a 1, so it's the fighter. So I'm going to clear. Let's see if we can get to a boss fight soon. Not with that. Pretty soon, I wouldn't mind getting to the boss fight, though. In fact, I don't know if I'll be able to finish tonight. We'll see. We'll see. I'd like to do a boss fight. All right, so that's the fighter. So the fighter is going to do... Should he do defense or attack? I want the warlock to get attack, so he's going to do defense again. Does he need to rest? He hasn't used a skill point. He's only got 2 wounds. Nope. So he's going to do it. So that would be a 2, but -1 for the dungeon threat. And I've already upped that, so that's going to be... Oh, it's going to be a 1. 2 -1, and then he's still going to get a +3, which I already changed. So that's going to be in the defense. So that's going to be a 5, and yeah, I've got a 13 already, so I'm not going to roll. That's a 12. Why is my experience, why do I keep screwing that up? Oh my God. I think that was 24 before. Oh, that stinks. I guess I need to click off of it so I don't accidentally do that. I could probably back into it. 1, 2, so you start with 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 27, plus I got an extra one. So that's 28. So I'm going to make sure I do that right. DOE sound might work since it makes its own database. I don't know. I'll have to check it. I don't know. I'll have to check it later. So that was trap. So we got that. So that's good. Oh, wait. And that was a 2. So no, we didn't have an encounter. I keep forgetting to check, but I actually think I have been checking okay. All right. So I got that. I put that on. Got the defense. Did I put it there? 10, 11, 12 defense. And once you finish it, you can't, once you complete it all, obviously you can't go any higher. But that's a 12. Okay, good. So now let's go to the Warlock, 7, 8. So this is going to go to a 1, but he's going to get a +3. So let's hope he doesn't roll too high. 7. Warlock starts with 7, 8, so he's automatically wins. So that's an 8. This goes to 18. So I'm getting close. And his attack goes to 8. That's good. I really want to get that attack to 10 if I can. All right, and that was it. So this goes to a 2 on +3. Ah, darn it. That's the Warlock. So let's just put it down to the Warlock. Let's clear. It works just for effort manual needs. Oh, that's good. Huh, cool. Oh. All right. All right, we're down to the Warlock again. Let's see if we can roll for boss encounter. Nope. 4. 1. 2. 3. 1. 3. All right. So that's the Warlock. Oh, he's going to do treasure. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's going to try treasure, even though it's going to be hard because it's a +3. Yeah, let's try it. So that's a 1 here, but it's +3. So that's going to be challenging. Treasure. 2. Okay, 6. It's doable. God, I guess I really went out on a limb on that, didn't I? Because I need a 4, 5, or 6. Is that right? Yeah. So I have 50-50 chance. Nice. Nice. All right. So we got the treasure, which is excellent. I think this is the first treasure encounter I've won, so the luck's going to go to 3. Experience is going to 19. And then I'm going to do this. Make sure I don't forget to put this on my luck. All right. So I think this is the first time I've gotten this. So now we go to the treasure table, and this is a straight 2d6. Actually, I think I did do this before. 2d6. 8. Gain 1 skill point. That's crap because I haven't used one. So that's nothing. Well, at least I won. And he's going to do defense again. I might as well try to max out my defense. And this, he gets his -1. Actually, crap. I keep saying -1. He's at... Once he hit 12, he should be at -2. He gets +2 defense. But oh, no, that's right. The dungeon threat. Crap, is that just against agility? No, I think that's interesting. I always thought... Decrease combat dice score. Now I'm wondering if these only apply to the agility score. I don't think so. I think that applies to the overall dungeon threat. You're just more nimble and all of these change. So I think this is right, that this goes down, decrease the combat die score. I don't think it's just for intelligence attacks. Yeah, I think that's right. I think I'm doing it right. I wonder if it says, I'm going to read this again real quick. To compute the hero score, combat die plus attribute value number of boxes plus attribute bonus to the right of boxes. Well, maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe the dungeon threat is only for agility. Oh no, okay, here we go. To compute the encounter score. Yeah, so the hero score, the attribute bonus is the pluses. This is just experience, so that I'm doing it right. And the dungeon threat is for everything. Okay, I'm doing it right. Excellent. Okay, where was I? So I'm on 2. The warlock just went, got the treasure. The fighter goes now. The fighter is going to do the trap again. So that does -1 to the dungeon threat. So that's 1 - 1 is 0. So there's nothing here. Yep. And I'm going to win this encounter no matter what. But I want to roll it anyway. He gets a 4, 7 against my, let's see, what is it going to be anyway? 16. Excellent. So that goes to 13. That goes to 29. I'm 1 away from unlocking my second skill, and I haven't had to use it yet, which is good, because I don't get many. We're going to put this to this. Awesome. And that's the round. Yeah. So this is going to go to 3 on +3. All right. So it's back to the fighter. Clear. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I could always do that. Maybe I will pause. I'm starting the 3rd round. Maybe I will do that. I'm going to stop and cut this up. Good idea, Shad. So here we go. I'm going to pause this and be back shortly.